Yeah, great to be here. Thank you for having me. I am Sash. I'm head of operations at Elastos. What can I say? My background stems from the creative industries. I'm deeply passionate about blockchain technology, which fundamentally is about disrupting finance and rights management. But those things incorporate everything we do in the world today. So, we're seeing the industry just being disrupted in many different ways. And at Elastos, we're playing a pivotal role in not only supporting Bitcoin with Bitcoin finance and the ways in which you can actually unlock the value without selling your Bitcoin, but also disrupting rights management and how we can create a new digital economy where we both own our data and we can then go and monetize it without these crazy 45% fees, terms and conditions, and all these middlemen that we have today.
Super interesting for sure. I think being able to obviously hold on to the Bitcoin if you're looking for anything within this ecosystem is so challenging to do. So having a solution for that, I think, is a big part of it.
Big time. Everyone talks about Bitcoin as a currency, but no one really wants to use it as a currency. It's more of a digital gold. And what we want to now do is to collateralize our digital gold and actually unlock stable currencies, which are like a dollar, digital backed dollar, that then we can go use in day-to-day commerce. So the tool sets that Elastos is providing, it's called Bell2, the Bitcoin Elastos Layer 2 network. It essentially allows Bitcoin to communicate with smart contracts, and all of that's technical jargon to basically be able to say you can collateralize your Bitcoin without wrapping it using a custodian or handing it over to an exchange like, let's say, FTX or some of these guys that have blown up in the past, but you can actually collateralize it in your decentralized wallet. You can talk to a smart contract and you can unlock be it a loan or an actual stable currency. So we want Bitcoin to always stay on the Bitcoin layer, and then we want to allow Bitcoin's blockchain to communicate with other blockchains and then unlock stable currencies which you can use to day-to-day transactions, and you always stay in control of your assets.
Absolutely. Elasticity definitely seems to be gaining momentum. Can you tell us a little bit about what creators are enjoying about the platform?
Sure. So I'm founder and CEO of another project called Elacity, and we're built on top of Elastos. So think of Elastos as the ownership tool sets. So the ability for us to own our own data and for that to be grounded in Bitcoin security. And then think of Elacity as a monetization layer. So, we need revenue in Web3. So we need the ability to actually license and to actually monetize data that we own. And this is what Elacity provides. So, again, for creators right now, our marketplace allows you to monetize audio and video content. And actually, we had a podcast to monetize a podcast with the founder of Elastos, and he made $5,500 in less than 24 hours monetizing with the world. So it's like, okay, holy shit. When you own your data, you capture the value of that data and you can monetize it globally. Transactions are settled immediately. We tokenize access, distribution, and royalty rights in a smart contract. So you encrypt your video and then you release a smart contract that has access, royalties, and distribution rights in, and they can be traded globally. So every time someone trades the access tokens, actually the payments get distributed out to all the royalty token holders. So what it also means is we can generate a marketplace where even if you're not a creator, you can go and buy royalties to what we want to imagine is becoming the Amazon of digital assets. So every type of digital asset, audio, video, gaming, software, AI agents. And when we tokenize all these systems, we can go buy royalties to an AI agent, which every time someone subscribes to use, we can get a fraction of the payment distributed to our decentralized wallets immediately. So it is a global tokenized marketplace, which myself and my team have been really passionate building, and we're going to just continue expanding it to all assets and empowering creators to just monetize without these big 45% middleman fees you see today.
So as a content creator, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
How, is there minimums? How does one get onboarded with it really fast? Because that's a little bit of a selfish question for myself, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. We've built in my opinion, some really powerful innovation, and now our job is to take it to the consumer. So the biggest friction point that Web3 really has is user experience. So, one of the first tool sets that we've enabled is the ability to log in with your standard socials. So your email, you can do Google, you can do, the classic Web2 logins. But when you do that, you generate a Web3 wallet in the background. So you're entering the Web3 system in a way which feels very friendly. Today, you can go to Elacity, you can log in with your socials, and you can go through the process, step-by-step process of uploading your asset. What's the description? What's the title? How many access tokens do you want to sell? So you can define scarcity as well. And then you can also set the price and you can just go ahead and mint it. It's only on Elastos right now. And our goal is to actually incorporate, again, technical jargon, something called chain abstraction, which means that users and consumers won't even think about what blockchain it is. They're just going to sign in. They're going to be able to top up their account with their credit card, and they're going to be able to make payments and buy content from their favorite content creators. And the creator to fan relationship is just direct now. No people in the middle. You have a direct communication channel, and you can actually monetize directly. One last thing is what's so interesting is rather than the traditional model today where it's all about getting as many numbers as possible because you're monetizing through ad revenue, when you actually sell directly to your fan base, the guy that made $5,500, he only had about 80 buyers that were willing to pay to access and get in. So, it completely, like blockchain, it changes everything. It flips it on its head where it's more about the diehard few than the lukewarm many. You want to just get that solid fan base believing and buying into you, and you can have a great standard of living.
Without a doubt. I think that shows obviously that the I don't want to say project, but the approach is definitely undervalued in my opinion, and probably in your opinion. Besides the adoption of more content creators, why do you think there is that undervalued approach with what you guys have going on?
So ELA of the token that is from Elastos. So Elacity doesn't have a token as a project, but Elastos, the ownership layer, does have a token ELA. Now it's merge mined with Bitcoin. So there is a huge, and not to say it's investment advice, but there is a huge value investment proposition in that if you've got, so Elastos has 50% of the Bitcoin miners' security. So, Bitcoin miners give the same answers to the Elastos network at no additional cost in return for some ELA rewards. So we have 50% of the miners securing the Elastos blockchain. And that is worth billions in value, in electricity value that's being spent every year. And when you look at Elastos, it's like a market cap of $40 million, and it has literally over $7 billion worth of electricity value securing it today. So actually, I think the biggest problem is more education. We have the biggest miners merge mining Elastos. Bitmain, we've got Binance Pool, we've got Ampool, we've got via BTC, all the big guys, and we're onboarding and having more miners interested now to get on board too. But people don't realize about merge mining. Satoshi's talked about it in 2009 on the Bitcoin forum. Why wouldn't you tap into Bitcoin's security? And I think increasingly more with quantum computing, we're going to see people tapping into Bitcoin security. But then in tapping into its security, you give the miners a new revenue stream, but then you get the security of Bitcoin, which opens up a value proposition which people can buy and trade as a derivative asset almost. So we have a saying in the community of ELA is that Bitcoin is king, but ELA is queen. And it's because Elastos is secured by Bitcoin's network, and together they have a symbiotic supporting relationship. And Elastos is building all of these ownership tool sets that we spoke about. So it's trying to build, whilst Bitcoin is building the financial ecosystem, Elastos is building the data economy aspect. And together, we're building a completely new economy, which is grounded in trust and blockchain.
So with that being said, do you have anything exciting that you want to share in terms of anything coming out with Elastos, Elasticity, or ELA as the token itself coming up?
Most excitingly, Elastos, again, it's been around since 2018. It just had a $20 million investment deal with Roman Management. So we're seeing institutions and VCs getting more excited about the asset. Bitcoin is just getting adopted more. Elastos is merge mined, so it has a great value proposition. Next month is the rollout of the Bitcoin-backed stablecoin using the Bell 2 protocol. So In 2 months' time, it will be more commercial, but next month we'll get to see the first steps of being able to collateralize your Bitcoin and actually mint a stable coin it will be pegged to the dollar, so it's not competing against the dollar, but it will also be backed in Bitcoin. Now, this has been spearheaded by a group that's being supported by the Harvard Innovation Lab. So it's incubated by the Harvard Innovation Labs. It's Harvard alumni team. So I think, this is very exciting. When we look at the new Bretton Woods agreement from the past, this is almost like the next generation new Bretton Woods, which was all about the dollar being backed with gold before it got dropped. Now we want the dollar backed with Bitcoin, but algorithmically secured by the Bitcoin miners. So that's coming out next month. And then the final thing, I guess, would be really for Elacity, we are just rolling out our technology. So when you talked about onboarding, we are making the onboarding process easier and easier. And what you see today is the worst it'll ever be. So I'd be extremely excited about how content creators and how people online are going to be able to monetize their value without relying on these third-party platforms and without signing terms and conditions. It's not just about monetizing your value, it's about owning your narrative. So it's about being able to say, I am in control, I can say what I want, and I'm responsible by my jurisdiction and law to not do anything illegal or not to do anything wrong. But I don't need to be handheld by a third-party platform. I can do it myself, and I own my own distribution. So that's what we're here to deliver. And I encourage listeners to really check out Elastos and explore ELA as an alternate reserve asset.
So that being said, where do you I know we don't really want to focus on market cap, and the degen side of me just wants to hear market cap go up, but where do you see Elastos in general being in the next 12 to 18 months with arguably doing a lot different than most are in the space, especially for the creator side of it?
Sure. So the real big vision of Elastos, when we look in the years ahead, Elastos stands for Elastos, so operating system. The founder of Elastos was the 10th employee at Microsoft Research in the 90s. His name's Rong Chen. He went on to pioneer both the Internet Explorer but also the operating systems with Microsoft. Before that, he studied at Chicago, Illinois in the late 80s and helped develop supercomputers with the National Supercomputer Application. Elastos is grounded in incredible computer science and minds, and the vision is to actually build an operating system. So a new digital economy. It will be. We're actually working on it. My team are building it now. It's an operating system you log into. You can deploy the operating system from your browser. You log in with your decentralized identity, and you enter into an environment where everything inside it is encrypted. It's protected. We bring in the Elacity monetization tool sets, and so then we can start to imagine a new digital economy where we're buying and trading digital goods all the way up into AI, into robotics even. Like you could pay to actually access a robotics service to come and help you, like healthcare. We're going to see robotics coming in, things like unlocking doors. But the operating system, what we need to see in Web3 is the idea of show me the money. Let's go beyond just speculating on tokens, but let's start creating economies where we drive revenue through buying and selling digital goods. And in order to do that, we need to do it in a protected environment that safeguards your data, almost a digital condom. And that is Elastos. It's the operating system in which you'll be able to do this in. So we're working on this already. The first rollout of this will be by the end of this year. But when we look at 5 years' time, we're going to see robotics running Elastos on them, and we're going to see individuals connecting into this new economy through Elastos. The whole system is secured by Bitcoin miners, and we're going to have the ability to buy and trade in stable currencies that are also backed in Bitcoin, and this whole new economy is going to emerge. So Elastos is really, E stands for the, last, L-A-S-T-O-S, so it's the last operating system. The idea is the last operating system for the internet because it safeguards your data and you're in control.
One word for the content creators out there. What do you have to say to them on why to get involved now? Not really on the ground floor, but with where you're going with this venture. Why is it important for them to get integrated now?
Sure. So first mover advantages, to be one of the first people, this innovation is inevitable. Like we're showcasing that it's working, but it's inevitable that technology fundamentally is here to empower us to do more for less. So, technologies throughout history empower us as individuals. So, the internet and the Web 2 world with the kind of ways in which we monetize today is absolutely fine because it was part of the technology that empowered us. The problem is that there's limitations today in that, we do lose our narrative. We are relying on gatekeepers and we lose up to 45% of our revenue. And also our data is being bought and sold with advertisers that we're not sure on. So the next evolution of empowerment is actually we don't need those tool sets anymore. We have them ourselves and we can do it directly. So, we are, in my opinion, at the forefront of this innovation. And for content creators, why not? What have you got to lose in just minting some of your assets and monetizing it? And when you start to see, again, show me the money. When you start to see income coming in and then you compare it to these older systems, it is like oh my God, like not only have I minted the copyright of my assets, but I've minted the actual monetization of the smart contracts, and I'm just on autopilot now. I'm earning revenue whenever someone wants to pay and access it. We've enabled today subscriptions and also buy now, so you can create a channel with a subscription model. You can upload assets into it. Someone can subscribe, you get paid immediately, they get access to a whole library of assets. But then they can also, if they don't want to subscribe, you can put a buy now and resell model on all of the individual assets. So, people can actually buy and trade the individual assets as well. So again, we just, we tokenize the whole system for creators, and yeah, why not? Like, honestly, some of the best YouTube creators, let's look at YouTube, like let's say Logan Paul or these early guys, they became what they are today because they were the first movers. We're now moving into the next generation of technologies, and it's time for the new creators to become the first movers in Web3, and you're going to see all the benefits as the network effect just grows. So yeah, that's my advice.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And the Jerry Maguire reference, show me the money, I think the best way to explain it for creators. So thank you for that, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to chat.
Awesome.